Hi, welcome back to the CNT podcast. My name is Tommy Terrio, and I'm here with Justin Yormark and Eli Fishman. So, Eli's our guest, and let's see if I can do this intro justice. So, Eli is a broadcaster, journalist, writer. I mean, he does a lot of stuff surrounding the Somerset Patriots of the Double A of the Yankees organization, as well as doing sports reporting at Ithaca College. Did I miss anything? I feel like I did it.
You got it. Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate
Let's
it.
go.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on. First question we have is, did you collect sports cards or baseball cards in general growing up, or if you still do collect?
Yes, I still collect a little bit. I've actually got my collection right next to me right here. I did growing up. For the most part, more was just, I wouldn't say collecting, but just trying to like stock cards and get as many as I can, and wasn't necessarily trading or trying to build up cards that were worth anything. Just trying to have fun with them. And now I sold off almost all of my collection, and now I've only kept probably like 1,000 cards that are good cards and either have real worth to me or just in general.
So we both collect a lot. I collect pretty heavily, and I do trades on Instagram. I'm actually have most of my collection behind me on my actual desk, just to repost them because I have a lot of new stuff. So I collect a lot as well, and I have most of my collections behind me right now.
So you're working with the Yankees right now. I mean, no, I don't know if you're officially with them, but you do a lot surrounding the team, both with your Yankees prospects podcast and such. Like, were they your favorite team growing up, or was this just something that you were just offered the opportunity to do it?
Yeah, so I write for Pinstripe Prospects, which is not affiliated with the Yankees, but we cover the Yankees minor league farm system.
Okay.
And so yeah, I grew up a Yankee fan, and I grew up 35 minutes from the Somerset Patriots, who were always an independent team, and what the Atlantic League, independent from any team, and it was just everything just worked out very perfect. Where it was actually 2020, where the Yankees announced that the Somerset Patriots, they were, taking hold of them, and they were going to be the Double A affiliate for the New York Yankees, switching over from the Trenton Thunder. So that was some obviously huge news because I grew up reporting on the Somerset Patriots when they were in indie ball, and all of a sudden it's like I woke up to a million messages and Twitter tags and Instagram tags on my phone, like the Somerset Patriots are the Double A affiliate for the Yankees. So that was pretty awesome, especially growing up a Yankee fan and always following the Yankees farm system. They now became the Patriots. So that's how that all worked out.
There you go.
Our third question we have is, what advice do you have for aspiring sports journalists?
Good question. I would definitely say do what you guys are doing. Start a podcast, tweet your sports opinions, make an Instagram page where do whatever you want to do, whether that be, rankings or giving a hot take or talking about a topic that you're passionate about. Do whatever you can. I started a YouTube channel when I was 11 years old. I went and I interviewed players and coaches and talked about sports sitting at my desk right here. So that's the biggest piece of advice I would give, because the social media aspect of it is going to carry you throughout your career. Having a following and having people know who you are and being able to put out your thoughts and put out your skills to a real audience on social media and all these platforms that you could literally just sit at your desk right now and do a podcast and put it on YouTube and put it literally anywhere. So that's something super cool, and I think my biggest advice would be to take advantage of that, and shoot as high as you can in terms of your goals. Reach out to those big time companies, to reach out for internships, reach out for shadowing people to get experience and make connections. Shoot really high when you send emails and you try to connect with people.
The worst that can happen is they say no. That's
Exactly. The worst thing that could happen is they say no, and then they know your name, and then they check out your website or whatever you put in in your email. So yeah.
I mean, that's cool to hear because like you have that personal experience of just like being just like go like I don't know, going up the ladder, if you will.
Yeah, it pays off. The hard work pays off, definitely.
So I want to know like a little bit more about like you, your personal life, or it could be about broadcasting. But like, who's your hero? I mean, who inspires you? Who keeps you going? Who gives you that drive?
Ooh, there's a lot. In terms of the professional broadcasters, I grew up listening to Michael Kay, so that's definitely a big one. Big fan of Greg Amsinger on MLB Network too, and the New York media market is pretty good. Big Ken Rosenthal fan, I am. With all the stuff happening recently too, but he's someone who's definitely a hero I look up to. And then the other thing I would say is the people around me who really push you to be your best self. That's the minor league broadcasters of the teams that I cover, and the other minor league writers and classmates at school at Ithaca who we compete in the sports broadcasting program to get assigned to specific games that we want to cover and that we want to broadcast, and to win the awards, and there's tryouts to get onto all these different shows. So that's another aspect that really drives me and keeping me going, is that competitive edge and that being able to learn from those people that are around you.
Next question is how did you get to your torrent career?
So as I said, I started the YouTube channel when I was 11 years old, and that really, started. I would just sit and make predictions and talk about sports, and I live right down the street from Seton Hall University, who has, a Division I baseball team, and I would go and I would sit in the stands and broadcast their games just onto the voice memos app on my iPhone when I was 11, 12 years old, and get that experience. And I interviewed players for my YouTube channel, and then worked my way up to the minor leagues and just started going to minor league games all in the local area and just interviewing tons and tons and tons of minor league baseball players, and reached out to some websites asking if I could start writing for them, and here we are.
Yeah. So like you got a lot going on. Like we've talked about some of the things that you have. I mean, there's also just life stuff in general. I mean, you're what, 18 now, 18, 19?
Yeah, 18.
So you're still going through all the struggles of life elsewhere, but
Yeah.
balancing life, college, career, like how do you like talk us through like maybe it's your daily schedule, just like how you balance all that?
That's a tough question, and in general, it's very, very tough. Right now, I'm on winter break, so I'm trying to grind as much as I can with like the sports media stuff, and I'm like wrote 2 articles today, just to put in the bank. And a lot of writing, a lot of coming up with ideas, a lot of social media stuff. I've been hitting it pretty heavy on Twitter because I kind of gained a little following there. So I've been trying to like tweet a lot and put together videos to post on Twitter. Um, you know, that's really what it's like in terms of that aspect of it. And then at college, the daily life is 2 or 3 days a week. I go work at the TV station, and I'm on a couple of TV shows. Whether that's I'm on a couple of sports debate shows where you debate back and forth, and then like a sports center kind of show. And then every couple of weeks we have broadcasts of games. Did a basketball game on the sideline and did some football games. So keeping pretty busy with that, and that's how you balance it for the most part. The hardest part is balancing academics and the sports media stuff. That can be pretty hectic and tough, and sometimes you have to step away for an extended period of time from your computer, or step away from tweeting or doing the TV stuff or whatever it is. So it can be very hard to balance. You just have to, time management is really key with it, and being able to know what your priorities are. And for me, the priority is, schoolwork, and it has to be that way, unfortunately.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
So our next question is, what is your favorite part of your job?
That's a tough question. I would say being able to meet people from, especially in terms of the baseball players, meet people from all over the entire world, from all different, walks of life, who have been able to come together through the great game of baseball and meet at this point. On a team, you have, 3, 4 different languages spoken, sometimes more, sometimes less, obviously. You have people from so many different countries and parts of the United States, and so many different parts of the world, and they all come together in this aspect, and being able to learn about these people and get to know players and get to know where they come from and how they got to this point in their professional baseball career, how they grew up, how they learned the game, all that kind of stuff, and being able to get to know them as people. That's another very important thing as a baseball fan, to get to know the players in like a personal sense, because they are human. That's something that a lot of people often forget, is these guys, some of them, are 19, 18, 20, 21. These guys are kids. They have emotions. They are the same as every other human, and that's something very important that I've learned, and something that I've loved, is being able to get to know them in that sense, and just combine. It's so different as I've grown up watching an MLB game on TV, because you think about so many different things now that you actually know professional baseball players, and just the way they think, and how real their emotions are, and just how real everything that happens on TV on that MLB playing field, how real that is. It's the same thing as me going out, playing high school baseball. I played high school baseball. It's literally the same thing. It's literally just kids playing baseball. They're just getting paid. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everybody, whether rich or poor or anything else, I mean, you're still, like you said, you're 18, 19. Like you like some of these players can't drink, or like, and just
Exactly.
like the whole spotlight of the world is on them, and it's just like, it's crazy.
I remember seeing a picture of Juan Soto like last year. Not last year, a few years ago, with like in his apartment, like when he was just called up, still on his minor league deal, where he had the Silver Slugger Award he won, just sitting on the floor because he still couldn't really afford to have enough shelves to put it up.
Yeah.
In like a one room apartment.
Yeah, he was 19. Like,
Yeah.
imagine having, it's similar. I sometimes think about it, is it's like, you see how much pressure is on like these TikTok creators and these YouTube people, how much pressure is on them, how much eyes are on them. But what they don't have to do is go out to a field and live actually perform, right? Like put together videos, you do whatever it is that you do, but you don't have to physically perform and physically get this job done and compete in the way that professional athletes have to. And
And
there's
you have to
just
say the
so
right
much
things.
pressure. Exactly. And it's just like the natural pressure also of baseball. Like, even if, I keep going back to high school baseball, and how it's the same thing. There's such natural like fuel and competition and so much stress in high school baseball, and success and failure and all that. And then on top of all of that, throw in hundreds of millions of fans and hundreds of millions of dollars. So it's a crazy world.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So let's look into the future for you. Bright, sparkling future. I mean, we're out of this, pandemic mumbo jumbo and everything else. We're feeling a lot better. What is the job in the future? What are you like? What are you looking to get? And like in the future, like ideal job 10 years from now, what do you want to be?
Michael K's job, Yankees, play-by-play broadcaster. That's the dream. That's the goal, and I think it's very achievable. I think around the time I'm coming out of college, getting my start into my broadcasting career, Michael K is going to be getting a little older in his years. So I think I'm maybe at a perfect time to slide in. But yeah, that's the goal. That's what I'm set on, and I'm confident that I'm going to achieve that goal.
Public disclaimer: Eli is not saying we're killing off Michael K.
Correct. I'm not.
No. I have a similar goal. I kind of want I want to go for a broadcasting job in Major League Baseball as well. I was thinking more Cubs because they're my favorite team, or sticking it with Manos. You see, I have the Believe sign, signed by Kelnick in the background. However, I don't know if I really want to take that job because I really like how Dave Sims does it. He came on the podcast last year. Really nice
That's
guy.
awesome. That's
He's
awesome.
he's fun. He has my favorite play call maybe of all time with the Mitch Heniger. I believe it was a single that saved the season at the time.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
awesome.
I would more rather go to Chicago and be the broadcaster for the Cubs.
That's awesome. And good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Good luck to you too. The next question is who's your favorite player that you've interviewed?
Ooh, that's a tough question. There's a lot. You scroll down the list. Tim Tebow, David Robertson, Pete Alonso, Jeff McNeil, Luke Voigt, Jordan Montgomery. A lot of big time players. Tebow definitely stands out because of how well known he is, how famous he is, and how his personality of being this just all around great guy, and he was a super cool guy, really nice to me. So that's definitely one that stands out. I'd probably say maybe my favorite.
Mm-hmm. People, I listened to one of his books, and he's very inspirational.
Yes, absolutely. And coming into it, I was very cautious. Like, is he really like that? His real personality. Is he really like that, Tim Tebow, in like his books and on TV and all that? And he very much was, and was very much a genuine guy. And he's the guy that you see on TV and on social media and all that. So that was really cool.
I mean, he's the nicest guy of like
Yeah,
Legendary
picture
tight
perfect.
end.
legendary tight end, great blocker.
You guys didn't have to do Tebow like that, but okay. So you were covering the Patriots last year. I mean, let's just look at it. 72-47 record, 157 plus 157 run differential. They won their division. I mean, what a great year overall. What do you like? Can you talk us through some highlights of the season?
Yeah, it was a very crazy season. So it was their first as an affiliate of the Yankees, and first as an affiliate, and then first game, first at bat. I think it was second pitch. Estevan Florial hit a home run. So that was definitely a highlight. First at bat as a Yankees affiliate, home run. That was a lot of fun. And 2 weeks later, he was in the MLB. Florial was. So
Yeah,
that was also
I like
really
him.
cool.
I'm pretty
I
high
like
on
him.
him.
I'm hoping he can turn it around. The strikeouts strikes out way too much, but the skill is definitely there. He's very.
Modern MLB. Everybody strikes out more than they should.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's how it is. Same with them. It's even worse in the minors. But another one throughout the season, the trade deadline was huge because two Patriots players got traded, Diego Castillo and Hoy Park, to the Pittsburgh Pirates in that Clay Holmes trade, and that was kind of wild because they were the two stars of the team, and all of a sudden they're gone. And then Donnie Sands had an incredible season for the Patriots, who was traded to the Phillies a few weeks back. He had a couple of walk-off home runs. Isaiah Gilliam had a walk-off home run. Let's see, what are some other highlights? They had no hitter. Luis Severino was part of a combined no hitter, the first in team history. A lot of really fun stuff. Breakout seasons from guys like Oswaldo Cabrera, Oswald Peraza. We got to see, Ken Waldachuk. So overall, it was a really fun season. Got to see a lot of exciting milestones, a lot of walk-offs, a lot of home runs, and a lot of strikeouts. But it was super cool to see everything come together and really see the team just play so well. Like not very many people can, as in my position, be the beat writer. Like, you're going to all the games, you're seeing these guys day in and day out, and I don't remember what their exact record was, but it was just absurd how well they played. They just looked like a great team day in and day out.
Okay, it's not fair. You started you're playing this game on easy mode. I mean, come on. You start off with the Yankees organization. We got to have you work up. Come on.
I
This
know.
is
I
shame on
know.
you. Shame on
I
you.
started in Double A. I started in Double A. Maybe I was like a big guy out of college. So you just start in Double A, and then maybe Triple A big leagues.
There
Just a
you
couple
go.
steps.
There's your progression. There's your career progression. But I mean, let's see. I got nothing else. I don't think Justin does either. Has anything either. But thank you for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you to all who are watching. Big thanks. Had a really fun time with this one.
Yeah, thank you. It was a lot of fun. Appreciate it.
We appreciate
Thanks
your
for coming
insight.
on.
Thank you.